This is the story of Frankie the Idiot, which is not a very nice thing to say about a person, especially if they have an intellectual disability. But Frankie did not have a disability. His problem seemed to be that nothing really bothered him, when it probably should have. There was nothing particularly interesting about Frankie, although I suppose if you are listening to this in the future, it may interest you to know that Frankie was a caveman. You might even feel sorry for him. His cave wasn't very deep for a start. It was more of an outcrop, really, so when it rained, he tended to get a bit wet. In fact, if you were to compare how wet you might get, for example, while taking a shower, that's about as wet as Frankie got each time it rained. But this wasn't nice, warm rain. It was cold, horrible rain. And lately, it was getting colder for some reason. "I wish people would stop dancing," said Frankie. "There's already too much rain." Now, you might think that dancing doesn't cause rain, and you'd be right. But cave people didn't know this, so at least Frankie wasn't the only idiot who believed it. Sometimes people noticed that dancing did not cause rain, and decided that this must be because the invisible man in the sky who grants wishes didn't like your dancing very much. If it was really good dancing and everyone knew it, and it still didn't rain, then clearly the man in the sky wasn't watching properly. To get his attention, people decided it was a good idea to kill an animal and leave it on some kind of altar for him to eat. But for some mysterious reason, he never came down to eat them. This didn't stop people from doing it, though, as they all agreed that murdering innocent animals was a nice gesture after all, and it's the thought that counts. They never supposed he might be a vegetarian, or didn't want people going around killing his pets, or that he simply didn't exist. Another reason you might feel sorry for Frankie is that he wasn't very popular. "I'm not very popular," said Frankie. Right at that moment, the family of bullies from the cave next door looked up from the pile of rocks they were sitting around to insult Frankie. They had no TV, after all. "Go on, say it, just like I taught you." "Hey, Frankie, nice cave."
"Yes, you have a very nice cave. I wish mine was as nice as that."
"You did it wrong. Here, let me show you. It's like this."
"Hey, Frankie, nice cave." "Yes, you have a very nice cave. I wish mine was as nice as that."
"I told you he wouldn't get it. Nobody gets it. It's all about the tone. Now let me just figure this out. Okay. Hey, Frankie."
"Yeah?"
"This is an insult, yeah?"
"Go on." "Nice cave." "Yes, you have a very nice cave. I wish mine was as nice as that."
No, your cave. I'm talking about your cave. He doesn't get it, Bob. Nobody gets it. You have to spit the words out like this.
"Hey, Frankie, you look so dry." "I'm not dry at all. I went for a swim in the watering hole the other day. I'm about as dry as I was then."
No, I know you're wet.
"Okay."
It was an insult. We were insulting you." So embarrassing. Try as he might, Bob's invention of sarcasm didn't catch on for another 2 million years. Frankie looked at the glowing eyes in the darkness.
"Please don't try to eat me tonight,"
said Frankie.
"I'm too cold to be eaten."
"Oh, Frankie, why don't you come sit around our pile of rocks where it's warm?"
"Really?"
"Yeah, someone has a present for you."
"A present?
"Yeah."
For me?"
"Yeah."
"Okay."
Frankie got out of bed, which was just some sharp rocks, and walked on his hind legs over to his neighbor's cave. As he entered, the rain stopped, the moon broke through the clouds, and he saw her. The most beautiful thing in the world. Her dreadlocks were the prettiest he'd seen, the bone through her nose the least snotty. She was an angel.
"Hi, Matilda."
"Hi, Frankie." "Go on, show him the present." "I was foraging near the watering hole yesterday."
Yes, Matilda, I'm listening. Please continue."
"And I came across something beautiful."
"So beautiful."
"It reminded me of you, so I plucked it from the ground."
"Really?"
"Do you want to see it?"
"Yeah? Where is it?"
"Behind my back."
"What is it? Is it a pretty flower?"
"No, it's a pretty..."
"Yes."
"Big..."
"Yes."
"Stick." With that, Matilda swung the heavy branch she was holding behind her back straight down onto Frankie's head as hard as she could. "And that's how you insult somebody. Rock drop." Microphones hadn't been invented yet.
Well, that really is a pretty big stick. Thanks, Matilda.
Don't mention it. You can go now, Frankie.
Okay, thanks for having me. Bye, Matilda.
Bye, Frankie. As soon as Frankie left the cave, it began raining again.
Good thing it started raining again. This should wash some of the blood out of my eyes,
said Frankie. He's always talking to himself. What a weirdo.
That's why it's important that we do our part to bully people like that, so they get ostracised out of the gene pool.
And you think the best way to bully them is by complimenting them?
At least I'm inventive. Anyone can clonk somebody on the head. It's just so predictable.
Well, it works. I don't think he's smart enough to be insulted. He looked happy.
That's because he's an idiot.
Frankie was happy. Even though he was just smashed in the head, he couldn't feel it. All he could think about were the pretty, dirty fingernails of the hands of the girl who smashed him.
Good night, Matilda,
said Frankie. He lay down on his sharp rocks with a big smile and put his little leaf over him, on his shoulder. Blankets hadn't been invented yet. He had a fur once, but it was probably stolen, or crawled away. He couldn't remember. The glowing eyes in the darkness were much closer now, and there were more of them.
Good night, glowing eyes,
said Frankie, and he drifted off into a deep, sound sleep. Frankie was in the dream world now, where magic happened. In Frankie's dreams it was night time, and as usual there was something strange glowing in the darkness, a bit like the eyes he would always fall asleep to, but less green, more of an orangey light, like the big rock in the sky during blue time, only less yellow.
"Frankie, we've lost another finger," said Frankie's other head.
The yellow rock was just beginning to rise. A pack of hyenas, who had just realized that Frankie was too weird to eat, got a fright and suddenly ran off. The one who had the finger paused, looked back at Frankie, spat the finger out, and ran off to join the others.
"And why does my head hurt so much?"
"Oh, no." Frankie got up and walked over to pick up his finger.
"Well, it was a present, you see."
"A present?"
"While you were sleeping, we dropped over to the neighbour's place for a bit."
Frankie tried to stick his finger back on, but it just kept falling off, just like last time.
"The neighbours? You mean the bullies?"
"The very same."
"But they hate us."
"What makes you say that?"
The constant insults, the fact that they laugh when you're sad about losing our tribe, the fact that they stole our fur."
"Oh, no, that's just them. Maybe if I spit on the stump, it will stick better."
"And what happened?"
"So they told me to come over because they had a present."
"Let me guess. Was it another stick?"
"Yeah. I didn't want to wake you because you looked so peaceful. I thought being clonked on the head might wake you up, but it probably just knocked you out." Oops, I dropped it again.
"Why do they have to keep hitting my head? Why can't they hit your head for once?"
"Just lucky, I guess. I think it needs more dirt."
"So who was it this time? Bob? Sonny?"
"No, it was Matilda. You should have seen her, Johnny. Eyes like the skin of a frog, hardly any fleas, and she has so many pretty teeth, so shiny."
"Frankie."
"They're just so shiny, Johnny."
"Frankie."
"So very, very shiny."
"Frankie!"
"What?"
"Stop staring at the sky rock. If you go blind, I'll have to give you instructions just to walk. And you know how well that's going to work out, don't you?"
"Well?"
"No, Frankie, not well. Not well at all."
"Okay."
"Now let's go down to the watering hole, wash the rest of this blood off, and find me some food. I'm hungry."
"Almost there."
"It's not going to stick, Frankie. Just leave it."
"Well then, do you want some?"
"No, I don't want some." "Oh, damn it, Frankie. Can you chew more quietly, please?"
Frankie made their way down the track towards the watering hole to get washed up and find something to eat. Frankie identified as a them.